Hello, BitQueens. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are listening in from. This is BitQueens, and my name is Christy. So if you can hear me, please go to the comments and leave me some feedback. I'm so happy to be here today. I'm so excited. I mean, it's always an interesting time coming together to learn about blockchain technology and how it can empower us women. So if you can hear me, I would like to get your feedback. Go to the comments, leave something nice, say something nice. Yes. Charity says, happy Sunday. Yes, happy Sunday to you too. Yes, welcome everyone. We have Mutiat in the house. Welcome, Madam Charity, you're welcome. Virginia, Emmanuel, you're welcome. So kindly leave some message for our friends in our group chat that we've started, and today it promises to be very exciting. We're going to be learning some more new things, and of course, we're going to be adding it to the knowledge we've already acquired, and we're going to be understanding how all these things put together can help us take advantage of blockchain technology. So if you're just new here, you're just joining, this is your first time, BitQueens is a platform for blockchain education for women, and our vision is to help you learn blockchain technology as simple as possible, as easy as possible, so that you become confident, you feel supported, and you're excited to explore the endless opportunities that are available in the blockchain space. So without wasting much of our time, I'm just going to pull up my screen so that we just get right into our conversation for today. It promises to be very exciting. All right. So without wasting much of our time, can anyone see my screen now? I'm about to begin to share with us what we have for today. So I want to know that you can really see my screen. Okay, let me see the feedback. Okay, yes, Mutiat says yes, seen. Virginia says yes, I can see it. Okay, great. Charity, thank you for your feedback. So welcome, women. Today we're going to be continuing with our session. And of course, the topic we started last week, which is diving into the world of cryptocurrencies, a beginner's guide. So this is like a part 2 of that, while this is more like a module 3 of the blockchain basics that we started. Remember, we're learning blockchain technology from scratch, and we're taking it bit by bit so that you can understand, you can see the value, you can appreciate it, and of course, it will all come together for you, which is how can you leverage blockchain technology to empower yourself as a woman. So today we are continuing with the second part of our topic, which is diving into the world of cryptocurrencies. So my name is Christy. In case you're here and you're meeting me for the first time, I'm Christy Ezibonwa Emmanuel. I'm a blockchain educator and founder of BitQueens. Like I said, BitQueens is a community for blockchain education for women. And I'm happy, myself and my team, we've been able to kickstart this community to help you learn blockchain in an easy and fun way. And that's why our vision is to create this community where you feel supported, you feel confident, and you're excited to begin to explore the endless opportunities we have in this space. I tell you what, women have very unique perspective when it comes to things, and that in itself is an advantage. And what we can do is to put that advantage here so that with our diverse talents, our diverse skills, our know-how in our different fields, we can leverage blockchain to empower ourselves even the more. Okay, so with that said, let's look at what we're going to be learning for today. We will be learning a recap. So we'll be going through our last session. I'll just quickly recap in case you're just joining us for the first time. I'll just do a quick recap of what we learned in the last session. And of course, we now dive deep into kinds of cryptocurrencies, the categories of digital assets that we have, the misconceptions that people have about cryptocurrencies, because it's really very important for us to know what is true and what's not, and then we will interact. So it promises to be, a very quick but sweet one today. So stay put. I hope you have your journals. I hope you have your screenshot applications with which to capture your thoughts as they flow in during the presentations. Please, if you have any questions while we're on, please feel free to leave them in the chats. I'll be looking through the chats from time to time to incorporate those questions in my presentation. And if you'd like to speak or share your experience, we would have an interactive session at the end so that you can speak and share your own thoughts with everyone in the room. So previously, we looked at the evolution of money. Yes, we looked at how cryptocurrencies even came to be, and we described how we moved from barter, which is the exchange of one item for the other, in the time past. That's like about 8,000 years ago. That's 6,000 BC. Okay, when people started to exchange one item for the other, you have some oil and I need wheat, so we can exchange. That was the first form of money. And then we moved from barter to the use of items, from the use of items like salt, like shells, like very important metals. Then we moved to the use of gold, and from then we moved to paper money, where people can now deposit their gold in gold merchants and people who could keep all those precious metals, for them, and they gave them a paper that represented the value of the gold they had and the weight and everything, and of course give them a paper called IOU. So that IOU represented, a situation where you say, I owe you something. After that, we moved from that to paper money. So paper money became the in thing. So you could see many countries have their own paper money. Nigeria has its own paper money. US has its own paper money. Different countries in the world had its own paper money. And then the system of banking was born, and the banking system became even more sophisticated that we can now see. From paper money, we moved to holding cards. So you can have a debit card, you can have a credit card, but basically what that meant is you had the opportunity to move around with money without really holding cash. And then we moved to other digital forms of money, even without having debit cards or credit cards. From your phone, you could actually make transactions. You could buy things online, you could pay for a service, you could pay for your vacation, you could do all kinds of things until we got to the birth of cryptocurrencies. And the first that was launched, like we said, is Bitcoin. It went live in 2009. And before that, there was a release of the technical document. The technical document is a paper that explains everything about a particular cryptocurrency. And so we also looked at what cryptocurrencies are. Generally, we said they are digital money, virtual money, okay? You can hold it, but they're just virtual form of money, and they have different features. You can use them to purchase things online. They can hold value. They can be used to buy things online and things like that. And then we looked at why we should use cryptocurrencies. Yes, it's a quicker and cheaper way to make transactions, and you can use it to store your value. It gives you complete control over your funds, because let's take, for instance, you leave your funds in the banks. If it goes down for any reason, or if your accounts are frozen, you may not have access. And we looked at the different cryptocurrencies. In fact, we said, according to CoinMarketCap, there are over 22,000 cryptocurrencies, nearly 23,000 cryptocurrencies. And we looked at a few of them, and we made recommendations for a tool called CoinMarketCap. So you go to your Google search engine and you type coinmarketcap.com. It takes you to that site where you can see numerous cryptocurrencies. We looked at how cryptocurrencies transactions work. Please, if you're here, go to our YouTube channel. We have this already captured there. You can watch and get the full details. And we looked at why women should even consider using cryptocurrencies. Why it helps you, it gives you control over your funds. It's a way for financial inclusion for women. There are a lot of women who are not financially included. They don't even have ID cards, not to talk of having bank accounts, because when you go to create an account in the bank, you ought to provide a means of identification. Many women across the globe, Africa especially, do not have access to, identity. So how are they even going to start to create their own accounts and be financially included in what's happening economically in their countries or their regions? So cryptocurrencies allow women to be part of what's happening and can access different services, financial services, because they understand how cryptocurrency work. So that was a breakdown of everything that we did. You can see I did a great job at summarizing everything that we learned in the previous session. So today we're continuing with our dive into the cryptocurrency world. So we're looking at kinds of cryptocurrency. So in case you're wondering, we said there are 22,000, over 22,000 cryptocurrencies. How do we categorize them? What are the different kinds? Now, these cryptocurrencies serve different purposes, and that's why we have different categories, or we've arranged them according to their use and function. We have a number of them. Largely or broadly, these are the kinds of cryptocurrencies you will find. We have Bitcoin, which is a standalone class. Now we're going to be explaining that. We have what we call the altcoins, which also mean alternative coin. Apart from Bitcoin, every other coin you have is an alternative coin. But within these alternative coins, we still have stable coins, we have utility tokens, we have security tokens. Don't worry, we're going to be breaking this down. We have exchange tokens, we have non-fungible tokens, what will otherwise be known as NFTs. So does that ring a bell if you've heard that? That's what NFTs mean, non-fungible tokens. And then we're going to be looking at meme coins. Yeah, so let's get right into these coins and of course explain them step by step. So the first kind of cryptocurrency we're looking at is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the pioneer cryptocurrency. Now, if you're new here, again, I encourage you to go back to our YouTube channel. We've covered all these things. You can go there and watch all the previous presentations we've had. It will help bring you up to speed. And Bitcoin is referred to as digital gold. You know why? Because it shares similar characteristics with natural gold. I mean, the normal gold, because of its ability to store value. It's also divisible into tiny bits. Let's say you have an ounce of gold. You can really break it into smaller units or portions, isn't it? Yes, the same thing with Bitcoin. So it has similar characteristics with normal gold, real gold. And what about the way gold is mined? Yes, that's how you also mine Bitcoin, but in a digital way. So that's why people dubbed it digital gold. And it's able to store value. Like I said, a lot of people convert their own fiat currencies to Bitcoin and hold it so that it stores the value that they have and hedge their money against inflation. And of course, it also serves as medium of exchange. It is the most widely accepted cryptocurrency in the world. You can pay for coffee with it, you can pay for your flight with it, you can pay for your hotel room with it. Anywhere you are, you can actually use it, so long the service you're trying to pay for accepts Bitcoin. So that's the first kind of cryptocurrency we're looking at. Now, we look at the altcoins. I said anything not Bitcoin, all the other cryptocurrencies that were created after Bitcoin are referred to as altcoins or alternative coins. That's the meaning of the word altcoins. So all these are cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin. They all have their unique features and reason why they're created. So it's not like they're trying to be like Bitcoin. No, they're trying to look at another angle or look at other solutions that they can provide. Most of the cryptocurrencies you see identify a different challenge that they want to solve, or a unique feature that Bitcoin doesn't have, and they want to include that in the solution they want to provide. That's how all these other altcoins came to be. Example is the Ethereum blockchain or the Ether coin, because we're speaking about Ether. So Ether is one of such altcoins. XRP is one of such altcoins. We have Litecoin, we have Solana, we have Dogecoin, we have Cardano. There are so many of them. Once you go to CoinMarketCap, you will see a list of all kinds of altcoins. So What you want to know that all the cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin are referred to as altcoins, and they have different, features and purposes. And we've already mentioned some of them. Now, we have stable coins. Just like the name sounds, stable. These are coins that are stable in their value. By the way, cryptocurrencies are a bit volatile. Volatile means that they don't, maintain a certain value at every point in time. So the price could be at a certain point now, and in the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes, it's another value. So that's the meaning of volatility, or being volatile. It fluctuates. It goes up and it comes down due to different factors and sentiments. Okay, we'll be going into all that, what informs the different prices of cryptocurrencies in our subsequent sessions. But just so you know, stable coins are designed to maintain a stable value. That is to say, whatever the value is pegged at, it remains there relatively. I mean, it doesn't go up and come down like other kinds of cryptocurrencies. And why is that so? It's because these coins or cryptocurrencies are pegged to certain currencies, like fiat currency, like the US dollar, like a euro, or even to a particular commodity, say gold, for instance. So we have cryptocurrencies that are pegged to the dollar. We have cryptocurrencies that are pegged to items like gold. And because they maintain stable value, they are more like a safe landing for people who do trading. So you can trade against these stable coins. For instance, in trading, if you want, trading means buying and selling of cryptocurrencies. That's exactly what it means. So for you to be able to buy and sell, you need to have one coin that you hold that you can buy and sell for the other. Okay, so most times people trade, let's say you have Bitcoin and you want to sell your Bitcoin because it has reached a value, you don't want it to drop down. All you need to do is to now sell your Bitcoin for one of the stable coins, so that that value you already have in Bitcoin is now retained in this stable coin because the value doesn't fluctuate. So this is one of the most traded type of cryptocurrencies, the stable coins, because most people who are trading, pair it with other cryptocurrencies to be able to buy and sell in, trading platforms. Example include Theta, which is this one, is called Theta USD. We have the USDC, that is USD coin. Then we have Binance USD, this one. So these are just a few examples. There are a number of them also out there. So all these are examples of stable coins. Like the name suggests, they maintain stable value. Now let's look at utility tokens. Okay, so utility tokens are tokens that serve as fuel for blockchain. So what I mean by fuel for blockchain is when transactions happen in a blockchain, you need to pay some charges. There needs to be a way to collect a meager amount of charges for the transaction that's happening or the different activities that are happening. So such coins or cryptocurrencies can serve as utility token. They are used to maintain the functionality of the blockchain. Like normally in some places where cars need to pass certain checkpoints where you need to pay for gate fees. So that's exactly what this represents. Now, like I said, it's often used to pay for services and access some features. There are some features that will not be open to, those who are using that particular blockchain network if they don't have access to the utility token. So it becomes very important. An example of such cryptocurrency, which is a utility token, is Ether. We have BAT. BAT is Brave Attention Token. That's what this means. So Brave is a browser, like Google, that allows you search for information without all the numerous ads that you get. When you go to Google to search for information, you open websites, you open pages, you just see different kinds of ads popping out. Somehow your behavior online is being monitored, and before you know it, different kinds of ads are popping up, showing you what to buy, what not to buy, what to click on, what not to click on. For Brave, it is more private, meaning that you can use it to do your research quietly, get information quietly without being disturbed with all these kinds of ads that are running here and there. And so this particular browser is built on the blockchain, and they created a token called BAT. So when you perform certain functions there while using the browser, you can earn this token called Brave Attention Token. Another utility token is AIM. So there's a lot of them, and just so you know, they just allow you perform certain functions and access certain features within that particular blockchain network. Now let's look at exchange tokens. So as the name suggests, exchange token, these are tokens or kinds of cryptocurrencies that have been created by different cryptocurrency exchanges, like Binance, like KuCoin. Then we have Huobi. These are different exchanges. You know, there are different exchanges. Some of them are centralized exchanges. Some of them are decentralized exchanges. These are not within our conversation for today. So in our subsequent presentations, we're going to be looking at all that, how you can access these coins, these cryptocurrencies, exchanges that you can use, how you can even hold them, how to mitigate the risk, and all of that. We're going to be, looking at that in our subsequent presentation. So these different exchanges create their own coins or build their own coins or design their own coins. The idea behind it is for you to use them as a way of reducing the fees you pay for trading or for buying and selling in their exchange. Let's say you were selling Bitcoin for USDT, that's a stable coin. Now, instead of using your Bitcoin to pay as transaction fee or trading fee, you can use BNB, the coin for the exchange itself. Let's say you're doing that on Binance. Binance has its own called BNB. You can use this coin to pay for the fee because it's relatively cheaper. So you get to save your Bitcoin. Your Bitcoin is intact. You don't have to touch it, okay? So you just transfer or sell your Bitcoin for the Theta USD while still maintaining, cheap transaction fee. That's why these tokens or exchange tokens are created. So we have a number of them: KuCoin, Huobi token. All these are cryptocurrencies that are created by the exchanges just to help traders, pay lesser fee when they're doing trading or buying and selling within their platform. Now let's get into one of the most fantastic kind of cryptocurrency. It's called the security token, what you may also refer to as digital assets. Why are they called digital assets? Because they represent real world assets on the blockchain. So they're not just cryptocurrencies that are built on the blockchain, which have no representation in the physical world. These ones are cryptocurrencies that are represented by real world assets on the blockchain. So holding them means that you're holding a piece of a particular real world asset. When I mean real world asset, I mean things like real estate, aviation, maybe environment. We have movies, we have all kinds of different assets, real world assets, okay? Businesses, just name it, drones, all these things are different assets that we have. And so you can represent them with these tokens on the blockchain, so that holding them means that you own part of it or part ownership of those assets, okay? And guess what? These assets allow you ownership rights, like I've already said, and can provide you with what? Dividend, meaning that holding them gives you the opportunity to earn dividends. What are dividends? Dividend is like what you earn on your money, profits, or a return on your investment for holding a particular asset, as it were. So in the real world, let's say you hold shares, or you hold shares of maybe bank or oil and gas company, or maybe one big real estate company. When these businesses are making profits and they want to share, the profits, you get to earn your own reward or your return on investment according to the level of your participation. But one thing that is different from, these digital shares, digital because the shares are not physical, you don't hold them, you just hold them in form of tokens, okay? What makes these digital shares different from the other ones, like in the traditional system, is that you have complete control. and you can sell them immediately without having to call your stockbroker, begin to look for the right price or when to sell it or determine, if that time is the right time for you or not. These digital assets can be sold on the exchanges where they're listed as quickly as possible. And then you can also enter into different, asset class. Maybe you've never played in a real estate industry before, and you see a security token that is taking care of tokenization in real estate. You can say, okay, I want to play in real estate. I have just $100 or €100, or I have $500 or 500 euro. You can simply buy part ownership of that real estate because it is digital. It's easy for you to go in. So that's one of the biggest advantage of security token, and it has become one of the hottest topics in the blockchain space. That is ownership rights of different assets on the blockchain. And so any of such digital assets that you hold refer to as what? Security tokens, because they actually represent a value in the real world, and you can exchange them for other cryptocurrencies or other assets of your choice. So this is a topic we're going to definitely be breaking down in our subsequent sessions, so you understand one of the ways in which women can earn income, women can earn funds legally and credibly, and of course can participate in blockchain. And guess what? Even you who is listening to me now, if you have a business, you can convert it to security token through a process called tokenization, because it means that you're going to be breaking the ownership of that your business into tokens, bits, portions, so that different other people who are interested in your business can buy into your business. When they buy into your business, it's a way to expand that your business, because more funds will flow in, then you can bring out more usable products for your customers, for your clients, for the world, because you're solving certain problems, you're attending to certain issues, you're providing unique solutions. People will be interested in being part owners with you in your business. And when you have more people utilizing your service, utilizing the solution you're providing, your business is also expanding. And that can also translate to value and, of course, income for those who hold the security tokens to your business. It makes absolute sense. It's such a fantastic thing. Gone are the days when you say, oh, I couldn't buy into Dangote. Oh, I couldn't buy bank shares. Oh, I couldn't, be part of this big company or that big company or that, big company, or even Apple shares, for instance. Blockchain allows you the opportunity to take advantage of different assets that are real world. That is, you can see them physically, but their ownerships have been converted to tokens on the blockchain. So there are ways to doing that. There are, procedures to getting into that, and we will definitely, look at that in our subsequent presentation. So in case you're asking, are there such real world assets that are on the blockchain that are providing, security tokens, giving you access to security tokens or digital assets as it were? Yes, there's one called Desert Pearl, and it's a real estate project that is running on a blockchain as we speak. We have VU. VU is in the aviation, industry. So what is VU doing? Like your Uber, Uber or Bolt, whichever you use, connects individuals to drivers. And so they are the ones providing the platform. Without them, the drivers may not connect to certain people. And so because they are providing that service, they get a percentage of what the customer pays the driver. So I hear it's up to 25%, maybe between 20% to 25% of what the driver charges the customer or the client who is using his car to go to wherever he's going to. So imagine that you charge a person, let's say, $1,000 for a service, and you are getting up to 25%. That's like $200 to $250 of what the person has charged the customer for that service. So a representation of that, of what we have in the real world in terms of land transportation, has now been replicated in the aviation world. And the company that is doing that, one of those such projects, is called VOO, meaning that if you become part owners in the VOO project, you get to earn from the profits or the resources or the income they earn for connecting passengers to flights. Okay, so these are just examples. There are a number of them, examples out there like Tupan, regardless. All these are examples of real world assets that are already being tokenized in the blockchain space. So a lot to come with this. And then we talk about the last set. Okay, it's called meme coins. Like the name suggests, it's called meme. Meme means just for fun, for entertainment, nothing really serious. That's how these cryptocurrencies are for. This kind of cryptocurrencies, they are just for humor, for fun, and sometimes you see them being, tossed here and there on social media. Just, sometimes they're even created to mock a certain important person in the society, or mock a government, or say something, in a fun, but serious way. So these coins are generally designed to be highly volatile, meaning that their prices fluctuate, sharply. The value can go up sharply and can come down without even you knowing it. And that's why it's important for you to do your own research before even getting into acquiring these meme coins. Like I said, they just provide some comic relief in the blockchain space. Like, we can't be serious all the time, can we? So these meme coins just provide sort of comic relief, if you ask me, in the entire blockchain space. And we have a number of them. The oga pata of them all, like we say here in my own part of the world, Nigeria, Dogecoin. That's one of the biggest of them all, is Dogecoin. We have Shiba Inu, we have Floki Inu, and a number of such tokens out there, or coins out there. Okay, so let's look at fungible tokens. Okay, now non-fungible tokens are referred to as NFTs, meaning that they are just one of a kind digital asset. Non-fungible meaning indivisible. You can't share them. Like, ownership of real estate can be divided by millions and hundreds of millions of people. Yeah. But for non-fungible tokens, it's mostly non-fungible, non-divisible. So it's just an ownership by one person or one entity. They own it and they own it. If they want to sell it, they hand it over to another individual or another entity, as it were. So it's one of a kind digital assets. And these represent unique items, things that are not common. You don't see them every here and there. They're rare. That's why they're called non-fungible tokens. So these assets are brought onto the blockchain and they are tokenized there. And so people can now bid for it. So you can see any non-fungible token you like and you can bid for it. There's a marketplace actually for this non-fungible token. So you can go there and choose the one you want, and you can bid for it or even buy it from people who hold it or own it. Now, these non-fungible tokens can go from a few hundreds of dollars to up to millions of dollars. So NFTs are one way people can showcase their talents, showcase the uniqueness they have, showcase the skills they have, and get value for doing so. And of course, we have a number of them. It could be digital arts, it could be, collectibles, even animals are, put together in such a way. And these animals, their image is digital because they're not really physical, like I said, and they can provide some income for the owners who design these funny but creative images of animals like cats, like apes, like dogs and things like that. There are a number of them. And thinking of it now, I think we should have a dedicated class to look at non-fungible tokens or NFTs, so that you understand how they work. All those unique pieces that we have, in our traditional settings, like back there in our hometowns, you have very unique crafts, beautiful items, handcrafts, artwork, all these artisans, they have very unique talents. They too can bring their work, especially women, because that's the stay of our conversation. Women are very creative and they can bring all that creativity into the blockchain space and also get empowered for their participation. You could also own a virtual real estate. Like I said, it's not real. That's why it's called virtual real estate asset, where ownership of a virtual real estate. Digital IDs, imagine your own ID can be tokenized on the blockchain because it is you, it's unique. Nobody can have similar ID with you. They can't have the same fingerprint with you. They can't have the exact same face with you, even though that's a bit possible, like for those who look almost alike, but even at that, there must be something unique. So when uniqueness come to play, when creativity come to play, then you can convert that to what we call NFTs. A number of marketplaces are available, in case you're asking. We have OpenSea, which is like the biggest NFT marketplace. We also have on Binance, yes, the centralized exchange that some of you may know. We have Nifty Gateways, the Sandbox, all these places. You can say even virtual fashion, virtual wears, they call it NFT wearables, music, games, all these things can be converted to an NFT and published on these NFT marketplaces. Here at NFT, you can even sell videos, unique videos or movies of what you've done, of your creativity. A lot is possible in the blockchain space, but education is very key to understanding how these things work and how you can position yourself to take advantage. Now, let's look at categories of digital assets. Now, we're looking at these cryptocurrencies. They can also be referred to as digital assets, and they are broken down broadly into two. We have what we call coins. So in case you are being confused, yes, some people say coins, some people say tokens. What do they really mean? Now, let's go with coins first. Now, when you hear the word coin, it largely represents cryptocurrencies, okay? And these cryptocurrencies are cryptocurrencies that have their own standalone blockchains, meaning that they have their own blockchain. It's not all cryptocurrencies or tokens that you know have their own blockchains. Like I told you, there is the Bitcoin blockchain, there is the Ethereum blockchain, there is the Litecoin blockchain, there is the Dogecoin blockchain. There are different blockchains, and these different blockchains have their different cryptocurrencies. So blockchains that have their own cryptocurrencies represent the coins of the blockchain, and they are referred to as the native cryptocurrency. When you say something is native, it means it originates from that particular blockchain network. Okay, so examples like I've listed here: Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Ether, they all have their own blockchains. Now, why are they also different from tokens? Because they're able to store value. You can convert your fiat currency to any of these native coins or currencies to hold value, or you can even use them to make a purchase online, maybe pay for a dress or book your flight or pay for coffee online, things like that. Then they are independent because they solely exist on their own and they have their own value. The value is derived by the way it is designed, like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not tied to any particular asset. You cannot say, oh, this building or this real estate is tied to Bitcoin. No, Bitcoin is on its own. The value it has, why people hold it there, is because of the solution it is providing. Okay, it is hedging against inflation. It's not, you can't just wake up and continue printing Bitcoins. I said in our previous class that there can never be more than 21 million Bitcoins. But a government can wake up, a central bank or of a country can wake up and say, let's print more money. And the more you have money printed without corresponding value being created, that money will continuously lose value. That's what is happening across the globe. The effect of COVID is still affecting economies up to today. Why? Because many governments during that time printed money just to cushion the effect of people staying at home without working, without earning income. So that decision to create more money, to print more money without corresponding input, without corresponding value is what is still affecting us today. So across the globe, the economy is pinching, is biting, it's all over, and the effect is still lingering. So that is why Bitcoin in itself is on a class of its own. You can say it's not tied to a particular asset or company, yet it is held in high esteem. Why? Because of the value it is providing. So that's how you know a coin. A coin has its own blockchain, it can stand as store of value, medium of exchange, and it's independent. It's not really tied to any external asset or company. Now let's go to tokens. Remember, we're looking at coins and tokens. All these cryptocurrencies you see are largely divided into when it comes to categories of digital assets. So we've talked about coins, we're now going to tokens. So what makes tokens different from coins? Now, these tokens do not have their own blockchain. Listen, this is the difference. Coins have their own blockchains, tokens do not have their own blockchains. There are projects on the blockchain, but they do not have their own design, their own standalone blockchain. So what they do is to exist on other blockchains. And blockchains that can provide such platform include Ethereum. Okay, so Ethereum it's a blockchain, it has its own native coin, obviously, but also it has platform for other blockchain projects to come on. So you can say, I want to tokenize my fashion business, and you call it, let's say, Mary Fashion, for instance, and you create a token for it. You can launch that fashion business on the Ethereum blockchain. All you need to do is to understand how it works, get developers who will build it for you, create it. See, you can even create it yourself. You don't need so much high-tech background to be able to do that. These days, processes to onboarding businesses on the blockchain are constantly being demystified. That is made simpler and simpler, that people can actually do it for themselves if they want to do. So this is one major difference between a coin and a token. An example of blockchains that provide such platforms include Ethereum, there's the Binance Smart Chain, and others like Zenic blockchain. It allows other projects to launch on their blockchain. So when those blockchain projects launch, what you have is tokens, no longer coins, because coins belong to a standalone blockchain. Okay, so I hope that is clear enough. Then they represent asset, which means you can tie a token to a real world asset. Remember, coins cannot be tied to an external asset or a particular company asset. They just derive their value in the solution they are providing. Then on the side of tokens, tokens are tied to ownership of a company, maybe a service, like the VOO I talked about when it comes to connecting passengers to flights. Then they can be tied to voting rights, meaning that these tokens allow people, like in a particular blockchain network, people who hold it can vote. Voting means to decide what holds and what doesn't hold for a particular blockchain network. So this is one difference that you can use in telling tokens apart from coins. Then they, of course, provide different functionalities, like for governance, like I've already said. Then for paying for service, like in Ethereum, you can build different projects on Ethereum. But when you want to do transaction, let's say Solana is one cryptocurrency that was a token on the Ethereum blockchain before it built its own blockchain. So that a token is on a blockchain doesn't mean that tomorrow they cannot wake up and say, oh, we want to have our own blockchain. No, it can happen. There were a number of them like that. Cardano was one of them. Solana was one of them. I think Polkadot was one of them. These were projects that were first launched on the Ethereum blockchain. And with time, when they became matured and had all the resources that they required, they went and built their own blockchain. So for all those other cryptocurrencies that are still on the Ethereum blockchain, if they want to do any transaction, they still need the Ether, that is the Ethereum native coin, to pay for the service that is they want to access, or the feature that they want to access. So these are areas in which tokens can play in terms of different functionalities. And of course, tokens rely on what we call smart contracts. I mentioned in one of our sessions that smart contracts are just agreements, obligations, between two parties, and it operates on the if-then concept, meaning that if this happens, then let this happen. So that's how it happened, because these things happen automatically. They execute themselves. Nobody is there to watch. Oh, has party A done what they're supposed to do so that we can authorize party B to do what they're supposed to do? No, these things happen automatically. They self-execute. And so they need to rely on smart contracts. Smart contracts are detribalized. They are not biased. They don't want to know your feelings. They don't want to know the state of things. Once you obey what the contract stipulates, then everything happens on its own. So that's ways to differentiate between coins and tokens, okay? So let's take misconceptions about cryptocurrencies, what people think about cryptocurrencies. And I'm sure you may hold one or two of such misconceptions, just like I did when I first started. What do women think about cryptocurrencies? I tell you what, myself, when I first got exposed to cryptocurrencies, I used to think that, oh, once you have access to cryptocurrencies, you will have a lot of, like, you would quickly flip your money and then you get a lot of money. And so that was a notion on which I even got introduced, because somebody told me about Bitcoins. I said there was this thing, if you just buy this and you put it here, then you'd be able to make some money. But I didn't really understand everything there is to how cryptocurrencies work, the state of mind I should have, the understanding I need to have. So I started on a very wrong foot, and that really hurt badly. So I know that some people, women in particular, hold some misconceptions about cryptocurrencies, and I'm here to address those misconceptions so that you know what it is and what is not. There's so much hype around cryptocurrencies, and we don't have to fall for those hypes. Let's know exactly what these cryptocurrencies represent and how we can deal or interact with them. First, that cryptocurrencies are anonymous. Yes, in as much as cryptocurrencies are built on blockchain, which is decentralized, transparent, immutable. People think that once you hold cryptocurrencies, you become anonymous. That is, nobody will know that you are the one that moved the cryptocurrency from one exchange to the other or from one wallet to the other. Why that is partly true is not entirely true. Yes, because there are public blockchains, that is, blockchains that are open to the public. And if a transaction goes on with those blockchains, let's say on Bitcoin blockchain, you move some funds, it's open, everyone can see it, that, okay, so person has already moved so fund. So it's not a question of, oh, bad actors are going to be using it to launder money. No, it's open because these blockchains are open source. So cryptocurrencies are not entirely hidden or anonymous like people assume that they are. Then another misconception is that cryptocurrencies are only used for illegal activities. I'm sure from all that we've learned today, you can see the value that cryptocurrencies are providing. So that's not true. To assume that cryptocurrencies are used for only illegal activities, that's not true. You see, no matter how good a thing is, you will always have bad actors. It's just like saying the US dollars is used for illegal activities. That's not true, because the intention for creating it was to serve exchange. So if people are using it to do other, dollar is bad, or the naira, for instance, is bad. So the problem is not with the technology or the cryptocurrencies themselves, is with the people who are using it. Another misconception is that it's a get-rich-quick scheme, okay? People think that once they buy into cryptocurrencies, they will make a lot of money. Yeah, while you can, it requires education. It requires understanding how it was, and you have to approach it with the right mindset. So cryptocurrencies are not a get-rich-quick scheme. Okay, so cryptocurrencies represent value, represent solution that is being provided, and you must have to get the understanding of how it works so that you can take advantage of it. Okay, then all cryptocurrencies are the same. No, as you can see now, all cryptocurrencies are not the same. So when you mention Bitcoin, people tend to generalize it. They just say everything is Bitcoin. No, everything is not Bitcoin. Everything is not Solana. Everything is not Ethereum. Different cryptocurrencies are providing different solutions. Then cryptocurrencies have no intrinsic value. It's not true. Bitcoin has an intrinsic value. Why? Because it is providing very unique value. Companies, I tell you, organizations, big corporations are hedging their funds using Bitcoin. Why? It's limited in number. You can't wake up one morning and begin to duplicate it. No, it doesn't happen. And so that in itself is value. And so when people understand these things, they know that cryptocurrencies have intrinsic value and also can be tied to physical assets, as it were, like we've already described. Then cryptocurrencies are only for tech-savvy individuals. That's not true. You and I can interact with cryptocurrencies. All you need is a guide. Of course, that's what BitQueens is doing to help you understand this and know how to take advantage and interact with all these cryptocurrencies. So cryptocurrencies are not only for tech savvy people. Business owners are creating tokens for their business. They don't have to be tech savvy to understand how blockchain works, how cryptocurrencies work, and how to utilize it for their own business. And that's why we are here, opening your eyes to see what value lies in blockchain and how you too can empower yourself leveraging it. Then cryptocurrencies are not backed by anything. I think we've already touched on this. You can see we have security tokens that are backed by real world assets. So this assumption is not true, that cryptocurrencies cannot be backed by anything. Oh, it's just a fad, it's nothing, it's meaningless. Today, you already know that cryptocurrencies can be backed by real asset, real value, and there are opportunities available for you to take advantage. Then cryptocurrencies are invulnerable to attacks. Now, this is not true. Yes, cryptocurrencies are built on blockchains, and blockchains in itself are secure. But you should also understand that the exchanges where you hold these cryptocurrencies are vulnerable to attacks. There have been a number of them, and that's why you have to pay attention to the exchanges where you buy. Some of these exchanges are, some of them, not all, are a bit malicious or have bad actors in them. And then your own security consciousness also plays a role. Okay, so how secure is your wallet? Or are you careless with your seed phrase or your login password and things like that? So security is important. Knowing how to handle your digital assets, because they are now in your control. And if you don't take care of them and you lose them, you can't really get them back, or you may not be able to reach out to anybody to say, okay, somebody went into my wallet and took money. There might not be anybody to reach out to directly to say, oh, help me recover my cryptocurrency. So the responsibility is now on you to understand how to safeguard digital assets and hold them securely in trusted exchanges and wallets. Okay, then cryptocurrencies are bubble. That's another misconception. That is, the bubble is something that is here today and tomorrow it's gone. Yes, this is one of the longest held misconceptions. From the time it was launched in 2009, a lot of people have been saying, oh, this thing will not last. It's over 13 years and we're still going. So what is holding cryptocurrencies is the technology on which it is built, the solution it is providing. Yes, there are a few other cryptocurrencies that may have lost value, that may have fizzled out. Like I said, anything good, no matter how good it is, you will also have bad actors. So, but that does not now represent that cryptocurrencies are bubbles. No, cryptocurrencies are technologies that are driving innovative solutions in different industries across the globe. And you should be aware of that and see how you too can take advantage. Then cryptocurrencies are not regulated. This is not entirely true. As we speak, there's what we call Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority. That is VARA, V-A-R-A, of the United Arab Emirates. Yes, not all jurisdictions have put down the regulatory framework for how cryptocurrencies should be interacted with. But that doesn't mean that there are no forms of regulations whatsoever. Different jurisdictions, different governments are now beginning to come up with regulations that will help protect individuals, protect businesses, and of course, lay a framework or a roadmap on how we can interact with cryptocurrencies. So this is not entirely true, because cryptocurrencies, blockchain is evolving. Things are coming up and the much needed changes, and of course, transformation is happening. That brings us to the end. Congratulations if you stayed till the end. It was an insightful session. If you got value, if you learned a thing or two, please go to the comments and tell me how you feel about today's session. It was a mouthful, but we were able to break it down, and I'm sure you got value. So I'm going to the chat now. Let me know how you feel about today's presentation, how you feel about today's training session. We learned about different kinds of cryptocurrencies. We learned categories of digital assets, and we also looked at the misconceptions people hold. We've demystified those misconceptions, and now you have the right knowledge and the right information about cryptocurrencies. Go to the comments and give me your feedback. I want to know how you feel. Jennifer says this is explosive. Thank you so very much. I hope you had a great time. Mutiat said, awesome and knowledge-packed. Madam Angela says, what a wealth of information, Coach Christy. Thank you so very much. Yes, I can also see some questions, and we're going to just dive right in. But before that, if you're listening to us now, whether you're watching the replay or you're live on this session, we encourage you to follow us on all our social media channels across all social platforms. We're there as BitQueens. Do give us a like, a follow, give us a subscription, and follow all the contents that we publish. And then if you have any questions beyond our training sessions, feel free to leave them for us at our social media handles. We'll respond to them adequately. You could also leave us a message at bitqueenshq@gmail.com, bitqueenshq@gmail.com. So that was our session for today, and it's time for interactive session.